I just milled up stock for my doors, and I wanted to show this to you. These 4 pieces actually came out of the same width of board, rough stock. But these 2 were to the one side. I believe these were actually on this side over here of the board. But I like these 2 the best for the middle, and so that's what I'm going to do. You can see the grain match pattern there. I just wanted to show this to you, that these are going to be the 2 pieces that meet in the middle. And then these 2 are going to get separated and put to the outside. Like so, I guess. And then the other thing I'm showing you here too, let me pan down here. So those are my styles. And then my rails, I'm basically doing the same thing here. I've got these 6 pieces, but they're cut as one piece and then split in the middle. So I'll take these and use them as, the bottom rails, mid rails, and then the top rails. But you can see it'll have that grain pattern flowing across those three rail sections there. So that'll look really nice, I think. And then the panel will get cut out of one piece. Getting ready to install the hinges. I've got the first 2 done on this door. I haven't installed it on the cabinet yet, but I thought I'd show you. These are no mortise hinge that I bought. They're not cheap, but I wanted to give them a try. Anyway, I'm using a Vicks bit in my adjustable combination square here to locate them on the doors first. So with this Vicks bit, what it does is gives you the ability to drill a perfectly piloted hole for that hinge. You can see the bit comes right through the center. So I'm locating the hinges 4 inches down from the top and the bottom. And all I'm doing here is putting this on the door. And then the hinge, just the barrel butts up against the edge. And I'm just holding both of them together like that. And then drilling this pilot hole. I'll show you the other hole there in a second here. So that gives me that perfect location that I want. And you can see the other one, the other hole is oval, giving you the ability to move the hinge in and out this way. Now, hopefully I won't have to do that. Alright, I got my doors flushed up. You can't see it, but they're flushed across the bottom here. I've got the reveal I want here. And all I'm going to do is take my combination square again, put it on here, butt it up to the bottom of the hinge, and make a mark. Just a nice light little mark. and then I'm going to make a gauge block from there to that point. Now I'm looking at the reveal, and it looks pretty good to me. It looks to be the same. But that's what I'm going to use to make my measuring device, I guess I'll call it, to locate this hinge on the case here. I'm going to do the same on the top and locate the one door first and then see how it looks. And if the block is going to work, if both blocks will work on both sides, I'll determine that by making marks again and just eyeballing that position. So let me make this measurement, or make the mark up on top, and then I'll come back with those blocks. Okay, this one ended up being 4 1/8 inches, and the one up on top, this is just a piece of scrap plywood. The one up on top, you can see that piece of scrap is left over from when I drilled my cubby finger pulls, and that one ended up being just shy of 4 3/4. So same procedure here. I'm just pulling everything tight to the molding, but the difference this time is I'm going to drill this adjustable one first, even though I know that I'm going to be, pretty darn close. That's why they give you that hole here. So I'm going to go dead center. Okay. Install this screw. Holding it tight to the block. Nope, not down yet. Still not. There we are. Okay, so that's that one. I'll locate the other one up on top, and then we'll see how this swings. All right, I got the hinges mounted, and everything looks pretty good. I'm tight right here, which I can take care of that very easily with the block plane. Just take a little off the door, and you can see as I go up the door, or the doors I should say, I'm pretty consistent until I get to right here. This one, it's tight again up on top, and this door has got a little twist in it, I guess. But if I put my magnets up here to close, that will take care of that, because that'll pull that tight here. This one's tight on both the top and the bottom, so I can handle that. The one thing that I do want to show you though, when I'll take the camera out of the tripod, is that this, the doors work good, but when you come down here, they should in actuality stop about 1/8 of an inch, in front of the face frame there. But the weight of them is carrying them past that point, and that's putting a little stress on the hinge. So let me stand this up and show you what I mean. And I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with this, but I'll show you what I'm experiencing here with these hinges. All right, now that I got it standing up, you can see that the doors want to kind of spring open here. So there's where they were when I had it laying on its back, And when I take my thumb off, you can see how they want to come open. So I don't think there's any magnet on the planet that's going to close them, that take up that much tension. Maybe there is, but we'll have to see what happens with that. But here's what I see happening. I got to be careful when I open these doors, because then this thing becomes very, very top heavy. So when I'm gonna have to take the camera out to show you this. Hang on a second. All right, you can't see it from the inside, but when I close the door, it should stay right there. But you know, that's at 0 point basically, but it wants to spring back. And the reason being is that well, again, let me do this. This part of the hinge is hitting this part of the face frame here and here, and this part is hitting this part of the door. You know, one or the other. So on this side, it seems like I can see interference here. So I don't know if I need to route these out, or, you know, create some negative space right here. And then a little inside. You know, they say there are no mortise hinges. Let me see here what's going on with this one. When I close this door, I mean, it looks nice, but I've just got to figure that out. Okay, I'm happy with this reveal now. I just did a little bit of block planing, and it turned out to not take very long at all. So I'm good to go there. Everything else looks like it fits pretty well. And I'm just going to take the doors off and do some final sanding on those. I shouldn't say final sanding period. I haven't done any on it. And then some little touch-up, you know, stuff here and there. Okay, I just yesterday spent quite a few minutes, I want to say not minutes, maybe an hour or so, an hour plus, making these custom steel brackets for my catches, my magnetic catches. I've got one up here and one on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is use rare earth magnets in the door to be my, my magnetic catch. So these will just be embedded into the door, countersunk into the door and glued, and then that's what will keep my doors closed. So I to make those catches, or those plates, I had to make a block to hold them. and it's just a custom width block. It's a little bit wider than the metal itself, but I just was able to put the two pieces in here, and then basically I ground them on a sanding belt for a while, but then I hand sanded them with some PSA sandpaper stuck to my granite sharpening station until I got the thickness I wanted, which was the same thickness as my hinge. So when my doors close, they'll be parallel and flush. But I guess what I'm getting at and leading up to all this is how am I going to locate these holes on my doors on my drill press table. So I want to show you that operation here. Okay, so here's my door. Now the thing about this is that doors are mirror images of each other. So you can't set up one stop and drill the 4 holes. You can only drill opposite corners. So what I've done here is I want the holes to be in the same position so that when you open the door, you know, one magnet isn't a little bit higher than the other. You know, they look symmetrical. So locating the stop is the key to this. The fence doesn't change, that stays in the same position. But I'm using a 3/8 bit for these magnets, which are obviously 3/8 inch diameter. So I want them to be about a 1/16 of an inch from the bottom. So how do you do that? Well, let me get this door out of the way and let me show you how I set this up. So I'm going to move my stop out of the way because I know I can do this with repeatability every single time. I take my 1, 2, 3 block here, bring it up to the edge of the bit, and basically find my outside edge. So 3/8, and I want 1/8 of an inch. Did I say a 1/16? I want 1/8. I want 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the door. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch spacer that I have here. Bring that up and just press everything together. And then lock this down. Oops, there. So now I know this stop is 1/8 of an inch from the edge of this bit. So I can drill my 2 holes. Bring my door back up in here. On this particular door, it'll be the bottom. On the other door, when I bring it up, it'll be the top. And then I'll switch operations and move everything to this side and do the opposite drilling, and everything will be perfect. So the other thing I want to look at here is how far away. I haven't checked my edge here. That looks pretty good. You want to be about 1/4 of an inch from the fence. Yeah, I gotta move the fence back just a hair here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm 1/4 from the edge and 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And I'll make those, I'll drill those holes here. Boy, that's close. Just a little bit more. There it is. That's just slightly below the surface. That's what I'm looking for. By the time I get some glue in there, that'll be just perfect. So I'll do the other ones, and then we'll be all set. Okay, now just to set this side up, that's it. I suppose I better check this one, make sure everything's where it needs to be. Now a little bit deeper. Must not have gone all the way down on that one. There we go. That's better. And now you can see the results. When you flush the doors up, those magnets are perfectly spaced. And the same goes for those two down at the bottom. And the one thing I was going to tell you too, let me show you this part. When you put the magnets in, well, I guess when I'm going to put them in, I don't know how important this is, but I want them in this way so that they're both, it's either the negative or the positive side is up, so that when they hit that steel plate, they're both attracting it from the same side, positive or negative, so that you're not going to have different polarities on that metal piece. I don't know whether that's important or not, but I think it is. So that's how they're going in, just like that. Just got some super glue on the back of this magnet. This is my last one here. Drop it in there. Give it a little push down. Well, and then you got to pull that screw off of there. There we go. All right, I'll let that sit a while, give that glue a chance to. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half. I want to see how this works. I'm just going to drop this down here. Oh, that didn't sound good. Yep, we lost one. One stuck, but one didn't. Yeah, that's still not cured yet. Alright, it's been a couple hours. Let's see how it works this time. That's better. I'll check the top here.